Social factors. There are many social factors for participating in sport and working through the performance pathways, such as making friends. It could help with potential funding increases as there will be more people playing the sport, could help create a career out of it, possibly being a pundit if they don't make it as a professional, or even possibly as a coach. It will also help develop leadership skills as they are looking at coaches and other players who act as leaders on the pitch and they will try to replicate it. The support network. To help make a professional athlete, they will need a support network. The support network could be from parents, coaches, teachers, teammates, or even competitors. With a social network like this, they will be able to help get the necessities that they will need to help to develop. The coaches, parents, teammates will be able to help with the facilities, whether that means finding a place to train, helping them get access by helping them pay, or even just getting them to the actual facility. This has a huge impact on the development depending on the birthplace effect, as some may have to travel further to the facilities, meaning that there will be a higher cost for them to play the sport. Also, if you are born in a less economically developed place, the facilities will be hard to come across, as well as the equipment needed will be harder to get because they might not be able to afford it. But mainly, the most important thing for the support network is to help the athlete to talk about their mental health, as this could have a huge impact on the athlete, which could in the long run end with them dropping out of sport altogether. What is the birthplace effect? The birthplace effect is the tendency for small cities to produce proportionately more professional athletes than larger cities. This is aiming at there is more professionals coming through the ranks that live in rural areas. A series of studies of 4,000 professional athletes showed a birthplace bias towards small cities in North American sports, Murphy 2012. This further suggests that there is a birthplace effect. This could be down to the fact that the facilities are better in more rural areas, as they won't be getting used as much than they are in the built-up areas. Although this so-called birthplace effect is strong in some countries and sports systems, evidence of a birthplace effect is not always found in different countries, sports and levels of performance, indicating that the effect may be buffered by broader socio-cultural mechanisms, Murphy 2012. With this, it shows that it is also dependent on the sport and level of the participants. This is important because a huge amount of participants in sport are doing it for all the other reasons than to become a professional within the sport. Possible reason why professionals are coming from more rural areas could be down to the possible distractions within the local areas they live in, because if they have to travel more, they will work hard to improve. This is so that they can get more from the session because they have to travel more, and they might just have to travel further as there is less facilities in the area. What are the sacrifices that the parents make to help their child participate in sport? To start off, one of the first things that they'll buy is footwear. This is because if they didn't get any or didn't buy the correct footwear, it could cause them to injure themselves while playing. Then it would be the equipment that they need. For example, in cricket, you'll need bat, gloves, pads, a box, as well as a helmet, which will cost a bit of money. The third thing is for them to be able to get them to and from training as well as matches. And with all these, it can cost a lot of money, meaning that if they do live further away from them, it can cost more money, meaning that they will be forced into other sports. How does how much your parent earn affect the athlete? It will affect the athlete a lot, because if they come from a less privileged background, they might not be able to afford some of the equipment that they need, and that they might have to end up keep borrowing the equipment from other participants. As well as it could then further push them into another sport, which they won't need to spend as much money on for equipment and facilities, etc. This can also be spun on its head, because they will understand the circumstances and they will work harder than anyone else there and try to be the best player that they can be. A sporting example of this is Dwayne Wade. He was brought up in the south side of Chicago, which is known to be notoriously tough. Now, Wade is up there for being one of the best and most well-known basketball players. But on the flip side of this, Gerard Piqué was born into wealth, with a father who was a very successful businessman and his mother being a director of Barcelona Hospital for spinal injuries. Although this is one of the best defenders to play the game, it could have taken a different route and taken it all for granted and not tried to develop within the sport.